You think motivation will get you where you want? Stop lying to yourself. Motivation fades. What actually moves your life forward is discipline. Here's the truth. Motivation is like a spark. It lights you up for a moment, but it dies quickly. Discipline is the engine that keeps running long after motivation disappears. And yet, most people wait to feel motivated. They sit on the sidelines, waiting for inspiration that rarely comes. If you want real results, you need to stop waiting for your feelings to cooperate. You need to start acting every single day, regardless of how you feel. Let's be honest, this is where most people fail. They fall into a mental trap without realizing it. The trap goes like this. I'll start tomorrow when I feel motivated. I'll get to it when I'm in the mood. I'll do it when inspiration hits me. Sound familiar? I've done this myself. I remember one morning I told myself, I'll start writing today, but I'm too tired. Hours went by, and I didn't write a single word. Motivation was gone, and my excuse was ready. That's the trap. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for lightning to strike. You may get lucky sometimes, but most of the time, you're stuck. And every day you wait, you're wasting potential. Here's the kicker. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. You cannot build a life on something that's inherently temporary. So what's the hidden force behind success? Discipline. Simple, boring, but unstoppable discipline. Let me tell you a story. Two friends decided to get fit. One said, I'll work out when I feel motivated. The other said, I'll work out every day at 7 a.m., no matter how I feel. The first friend started strong but missed workouts whenever he didn't feel like it. The second friend struggled at first, but after a month, he was consistent. And 6 months later, the results were staggering. Motivation fades, but discipline compounds. Discipline is doing the work even when you hate it, even when you're tired, even when life gets in the way. Motivation can't do that. Discipline can. And here's the truth most people don't realize. Discipline isn't about willpower. It's about designing your life so that action is automatic. That's the hidden force. It's quiet, unseen, but powerful. Now I want you to pause and reflect. Think of a time in your life where you felt motivated but didn't act. And then think of a time where you forced yourself to act even when you didn't feel like it. Which one actually changed your life? That's the recognition moment. Your feelings are optional. Your actions are mandatory. The people you admire, the ones you call successful, didn't wait to feel motivated. They acted. They disciplined themselves. And that's why they're ahead. Here's the mental shift you need. Stop asking yourself, do I feel like it? And start asking, will I do it no matter how I feel? Discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom. Freedom from relying on fleeting emotions. Freedom from procrastination. Freedom from waiting for the perfect conditions that never come. Here's an example. I used to procrastinate writing videos. I'd wait until inspiration hit. Then one day I forced myself to write 500 words every morning, no matter what. At first it was miserable, but after a week, my brain adjusted. My habit grew stronger. Motivation followed discipline, not the other way around. Think about that for a moment. When you act first, feelings follow. Most people get this completely backwards. They wait for motivation, inspiration, or some magical feeling to hit them before they do anything. They think, I'll start my project when I feel ready. I'll exercise when I feel motivated. I'll work on my goals when I feel inspired. But that's exactly why so many people stay stuck. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for a green light that might never come. Here's the truth. Motivation is not the engine of action. Motivation is a byproduct of action. It doesn't appear first. It shows up after you've already started. When you move, even in the tiniest way, your mind notices it. Your body reacts. Your brain starts releasing the chemicals that make you feel more energized, focused, and alive. That's why people who consistently take action, even when they feel unmotivated, start to feel motivated as a natural consequence. Action generates emotion, not the other way around. Let me give you an example. Imagine waking up to a cold morning. Your bed is warm. Your brain is whispering, "Stay here. Don't go out. You don't feel like it." Most people listen. They stay in bed and nothing changes. But a person who understands the noetic shift, discipline first, motivation second, gets up anyway. They put on their running shoes. They step outside. The first few minutes are uncomfortable, maybe even painful. But then something happens. The cold air wakes them up. Their muscles start moving. Their heartbeat rises, and suddenly they feel alive. The motivation wasn't there when they started. It came after they acted. Action triggered it. This is the noetic shift in practice. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start acting first, and the feeling will follow. Discipline becomes the driver, and motivation becomes the passenger. Motivation is no longer a crutch you lean on. It's a reward, a natural byproduct of the consistency you create in your life. Here's another example, this time with work or creativity. Many people want to write, create, or study, but they wait for the perfect mood or the perfect idea. They spend hours planning, thinking, or procrastinating. Then they feel frustrated, thinking, "I'll never be motivated enough to start." But the person who understands the noetic shift does the opposite. They open the notebook, start typing a few sentences, sketch a small idea, or write a paragraph, even if it feels forced. By taking that first step, no matter how small, the mind begins to engage, ideas flow, momentum builds, motivation appears, but only because they acted first. Without action, motivation would never have existed in the first place. This principle applies to all areas of life: fitness, learning, building habits, starting a business, or personal growth. The pattern is universal. Action creates motivation. Discipline breeds emotion. The more you do consistently, the more your internal drive grows. This is why high performers rarely talk about feeling motivated. They talk about routines, habits, and showing up no matter what. Motivation is a byproduct, not a prerequisite. Here's the key takeaway. If you wait for motivation, you're setting yourself up to fail. Life doesn't wait for your feelings. Opportunities, deadlines, and challenges move forward whether you act or not. But if you act first, you seize control. You turn momentum into a force that propels you forward. You turn discipline into a self-fulfilling feedback loop. Action leads to feeling, feeling reinforces action, and over time, what once felt hard becomes effortless. Ask yourself, how many times have you waited to feel motivated and ended up doing nothing? How many ideas, opportunities, or goals have slipped away because you expected a feeling before taking action? That's exactly what this shift corrects. Start first and the rest follows. Discipline becomes the muscle you rely on, and motivation becomes the natural energy that rewards your effort. So remember this: discipline first, motivation second. Don't wait for a spark. Create the fire yourself. Take the first step today, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't feel like it. That's how transformation happens. That's how momentum is built. That's the noetic shift. When you understand it, you no longer need motivation to start. You simply act. The feeling will follow and the results will speak for themselves. Let's get practical. Pick one habit you've been avoiding. Something that actually matters for your life. Not small stuff, something that moves the needle. Write it down. Commit to doing it every day for the next 7 days, no excuses. Examples: writing 500 words daily, exercising for 20-30 minutes, reading for 30 minutes, spending 1 uninterrupted hour on a project. Here's the secret: do it even if you don't feel like it. The first few days will feel like a battle. You might hate it, but that's exactly when discipline is formed. Every time you act despite resistance, you strengthen your mental muscle. Small actions done consistently create unstoppable momentum. Let's be brutally honest. Your life isn't shaped by motivation. It's shaped by what you actually do consistently. I want you to sit with that for a second. Really think about it. Most people believe that success, growth, or transformation comes from feeling inspired. They wake up in the morning and ask themselves, "Am I motivated today? Do I feel like doing this?" And when the answer is no, they do nothing. They scroll through their phones, watch a few videos, maybe make a plan they never follow. Here's the truth. That feeling of motivation is a fleeting emotion. It comes and goes like clouds in the sky. Some days it's there, some days it isn't. If your life depends on it, you are setting yourself up for failure. Relying on motivation is like relying on the weather to decide whether you're going to work or not. Some days it's sunny and you feel inspired. Other days the storm comes and everything falls apart. What actually determines your life is discipline. The ability to show up day after day, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the difference between a dream that dies on the page and a life that transforms in reality. Let me make this more concrete. Imagine two people who want to get fit. Person A wakes up every morning and asks themselves, "Do I feel like working out today?" Some days they do. Other days they don't. They skip workouts, rationalize, make excuses. 6 months later, they've made some progress, but it's minimal. Person B, however, sets a rule. 7 a.m. every day, 30 minutes of exercise, no excuses. Some days it's easy, some days it's hard. Some days, they feel like they're dragging their feet through mud, but they do it anyway. 6 months later, their body, their energy, and their confidence are unrecognizable compared to where they started. Notice the difference? Motivation didn't create that change. Motivation isn't what made person B successful. Motivation came and went. The thing that mattered was action taken consistently, without relying on a feeling. That's discipline. That's what builds results. Your future self isn't going to thank you for how motivated you felt last year. They won't remember the days you felt inspired but didn't follow through. They won't care about the times you imagined working out, writing, or studying, but didn't. Motivation is irrelevant in the long term. What your future self will thank you for is what you actually did, every single day. Every time you acted, even when it was uncomfortable, inconvenient, or boring. Think about it for a moment. The small actions you take today, the ones you repeat consistently, are like bricks. One brick doesn't look like much. It might not seem to matter at all, but layer one brick every day, and in a year you have built a wall, a foundation, a structure that can't be ignored. That wall is your life. That wall is your future self. Motivation isn't the bricklayer. Discipline is. Discipline is what carries the bricks, one by one, into place. This is why discipline is not optional. Action is mandatory. You can wait for inspiration all you want, but life will continue moving forward. The days, weeks, and months will pass whether you act or not. If you rely on motivation, you will always be chasing a ghost. If you rely on discipline, you will always be building. One day you'll look back and be amazed at what you've accomplished, not because you felt like it, but because you committed to showing up anyway. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. He wanted to become a writer. Every day he told himself he needed motivation. Some days he wrote a few lines. Most days he didn't. He thought he was waiting for inspiration to strike, and he kept delaying. Years went by, and nothing changed. Then one day he changed his approach. He committed to writing 500 words every single morning. He didn't care if he felt like it. He didn't care if he thought it was good. He just wrote, day after day, week after week, month after month. The results were staggering. He finished his first book in under a year. Motivation never built the book. Discipline did. Discipline turned a vague dream into a tangible reality. Now I want you to think about your life. What are the areas where you've been waiting for motivation? Where have you thought, I'll start tomorrow when I feel like it? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a skill you want to learn. Maybe it's a project you keep putting off. Whatever it is, the truth is the same. Motivation is temporary, unreliable, and fleeting. Discipline is constant, reliable, and powerful. Discipline isn't about making yourself miserable. It's not about willpower alone. It's about designing your life in a way that makes action inevitable. It's about creating routines, rules, and systems that you follow regardless of how you feel. It's about removing the reliance on emotion and replacing it with habit, structure, and accountability. That is where true freedom lies. Here's another way to look at it. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the fire. A spark alone can't keep a house warm. A spark alone can't cook your food, boil your water, or light your way. But a steady fire can. A steady fire sustains life. Discipline sustains results. Motivation is optional. Action is mandatory. The irony is that once you start acting consistently, motivation often appears naturally. It's not the cause, it's the byproduct. When you see yourself moving forward, making progress, and gaining momentum, motivation shows up to support what you've already built. But if you wait for motivation to appear first, you will never start. You'll stay stuck in the same spot, watching opportunities pass by. Discipline also teaches something deeper. It teaches you patience. It teaches you the value of compounding effort. Small actions repeated consistently over time yield enormous results. Learning a skill, building a habit, improving your health, growing your wealth, all of it requires consistent effort, even when it's invisible. The world rewards those who persist quietly, those who do the work when no one is watching. Motivation never teaches patience. And here's the most important part. Discipline is a habit you can cultivate. You don't have to be born disciplined. You don't have to wait until you feel ready. You can start today in the smallest way. Make one commitment and follow through. Do it again tomorrow and the day after. Layer your bricks one by one, and soon you will look up and see a life you didn't think was possible. Your future self will be grateful. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop asking yourself if you feel inspired. Stop making your feelings the gatekeepers of your future. Instead, ask yourself, what action can I take today, no matter how I feel? That question changes everything. That question puts you in control. That question separates those who dream from those who achieve. Your life is built on the consistent actions you take. Every decision to act or not to act shapes your reality. Discipline is the bridge between your present self and your ideal future self. Motivation is optional, action is mandatory, and once you accept that truth, everything changes. You are no longer a passenger in your life. You are the driver. You decide where you go, and you do so with consistency, courage, and discipline. Here's a question for you. What is one area in your life where you've been waiting to feel ready instead of taking disciplined action today? Be honest with yourself. Write it down. Reflect on it. This is where transformation begins. Most people never do this, and that's why their lives stay the same. Here's your 24-hour challenge. Pick one action you've been avoiding. For the next 24 hours, do it repeatedly. Don't wait to feel motivated. Force yourself to act, even if it's uncomfortable. Notice how it feels. Journal your experience. Pay attention to the power of discipline. This small step starts rewiring your brain from waiting for motivation to action as default. This isn't just theory. This is how high performers operate. Discipline creates results, habits, and momentum. Motivation is optional. Discipline is essential. Stop chasing motivation. Build discipline. Take action today, no matter how you feel. Your future self will thank you. That's the truth. I'll see you in the next video.